Good morning, dear students. In the last video, we have seen about the environmental health, what is the different types of environment, and in that we have seen about waterborne diseases. The next important thing is the air. What is called air? Air is a moving wind is called the air. The air is an important element for the human being to live. Either the man or animal or the tree does need the air. But here the trees are playing a main important role. They are purifying our air. So that only purification done by the mostly trees. In the air purification done by this. Yes, what is the composition of air? In the composition of air, if you see, the nitrogen is 78.1, oxygen only 20.93, and carbon dioxide is 0.03. Correct? So why this chapter we are learning air is important. The air is causing lot of problems. The air pollution bring asthma, COPD, airborne diseases. So to prevent that, we have to maintain the air quality. Okay, so what's happening in a air occupied rooms? If I am living in a room which is air occupied room, or in a room there is no ventilation, what is going to happen? There will be a chemical changes, there will be a physical changes, increase in temperature, more people are there. When they excrete, I inhale that same thing, the humidity, bad odor from everybody's, and then bacterial growth will be increasing and decrease in air movement. So the air occupied room must be well not ventilated. I am going to get a disease, right or not? Yes. What is called air pollution? What is the sources of air pollution? When the air is being polluted by various ways, how does it is polluted? It is all polluted by the human activity. We cut the trees. When I go to Bangalore, it was full of trees. When now you go, they cut the tree, they make it a big bypass, big road, four way, 5 way, 6 ways road has come. The trees completely been affected. What is the source of air pollution? This is mainly by the automobiles. Every vehicle, everybody in our house will have a one car, one this one, and more industries are present. The industries are emitting the carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, lead, and other poisons, and also the dust, coal dust, and other dust. Even you take a farmer, the Delhi air pollution is very high. I was asking why does the Delhi having such a air pollution? They were telling that sugarcane dust is not being digested by the ground. They are burning the sugarcane dust. That's bringing a smoke that's causing. The domestic, so many people are using the wood, that is also bringing this one. And miscellaneous, some bacteria, others are present. By some people are polluting the air by the bacteria, right? So these are all the sources of air pollution. If they ask, is a 5 mark question, you write under this heading. Automobiles, you write, describe and write. If it is a 2 mark question, just list down that what is called sources of air pollution. What are all the pollutants which is present in the air? We told you automobile. What these automobiles are emitting, what these industries are emitting, that is called pollutant. When the air quality indicators are going, how do we measure? The air quality indicator should be a less than 50. If the air quality indicator showing more than 50 and more than 300, more than 400, it is not suitable for the human being to live. Correct? Right. The air pollutant. What are all the pollutants? There may be a 2 mark question asked. List down some of the air pollutants. That is carbon monoxide, sulfur dioxide, lead, carbon dioxide, hydrocarbon, cadmium, hydrogen, sulfide, oxides, nitrogens. Okay, all these pollutants, what does it do? What does it do? Do they keep quiet? What do? We have to inhale. So what do? When we inhale the air from the oxygen, instead of oxygen, all these pollutants enter into the lungs. So what is the effect of air pollutants? Yes, it is called the most of the effect is called the respiratory tract infections, asthma, TB, bronchitis, lung cancer, cough, COPD, chronic obstructive pulmonary diseases. Right? So these are all the effect. If they tell you about write about the air, you write what is called moving wind is air. Like that you can write under these heading, you can learn these things. Okay, next we will see about this called ventilation. What is ventilation? We saw about air occupied room. If you build the room correctly, these air occupied room problems will not come in the well ventilated room. So the ventilated room, once the air is coming inside, it should have a space to move outside. So that is the ventilation divided into the two steps. That is a natural ventilation and mechanical ventilation. Natural ventilation is called the cross ventilation. When you build the house in a two windows, opposite direction. One window coming air inside, another window go outside, right? Mechanical ventilation is like exhaust fan you are keeping. So in the kitchen, the exhaust fan will be moving away all the fumes and outside. And plenum is like completely like a total air conditioned room. Plenum balanced with this one air conditioned room. So these are all called the mechanical ventilation by the AC or anything like air compressor, anything you are using to for the mechanical. Your fan, you can write as a fan also, one of the mechanical this one. Okay, this ventilation also been affected. What will happen? This will be causing some of the communicable diseases, airborne infections, tuberculosis. So some infection, bacterial infection will be spread from the one person to another person. Clear about it? So we have seen about in environmental health, air and ventilation. We'll see about what is called light. So the light, what is light? The light, do we have light? Yes, we have a natural source of light, right? It is called the sunlight. Sunlight is available all the time? No. When the sunlight is not available, we go for the artificial light. Why, madam, this artificial light affect our health? Yes, the artificial light is affected our health. How? The artificial health requirements you have to follow. The light should be steady. It should be sufficient. Otherwise, what will happen? Your pupil will be shrinking to see that. You will strain your eyes. Sometimes it is coming the adaptation, that light adaptation will be affected. Sometimes your retina will be, cones will be increasing, rods will be increasing, decreasing. If you put in a light in a pop music, some places like some club and all, they put lights which will be blinking always. So continuously that it will affect your health. Okay, once in a while it is okay, but continuously in the house we cannot use it. That's why we are telling is a distribution. It should be equally distributed. Then it should be absence of glare. There should be no glare. So the steadiness should be there. So the absence of sharp shadows and the color of the light is very important. You are not supposed to use the red color or some other color. You will bring the headaches. And the surroundings of the surroundings, example the dark surroundings also will be getting affected. Okay, so you have to follow in your house. There should be sufficient distributed absence of glare, absence wherever the children are in this one also. And when you are building the house, the natural light should be come inside the house. Like that you have to build the school building or the hospital building or the house building has to be built it. Then how will you measure the light? The measurement of the light is always by the luminous intensity, luminous flux, illumination and the brightness. And also you can measure by the daylight factor. How much is the light and how much, that is also there. But measurement of light you can write in a 2 mark. These 4 things you have tried. Luminous intensity, luminous flux, illumination and the brightness. Correct? Noise. Next important one is called the noise. Why, madam, noises? Yes, noise also bring a lot of headache, stress, cardiovascular diseases. Correct or not? The noise is measured by the decibels, right or not? Why, madam, we are telling? You might have heard, you might have seen when the people we are crossing, this is the area where the hospital, please don't use the horn, right? Some people are traveling. Many times I have seen even a lady is going to deliver. Some boys are very nasty boys are having some noise like as though like a elephant woo like that something. Then people will be getting shocked. Old age people are some cardiac pacemaker people are sometimes they will get a heart attack by sudden emerging of noise. Then continuously noise, where it is coming from. Some people house nearby the airport, nearby the railway station, nearby the cinema theater, nearby some recreation, kalyan mandapam. So some loudspeaker, TV always producing the noise. So this is a sources of noise. What will happen? The effect of noise always is asked as a 2 mark question. So the effect is like you can divide it's a auditory effect and non-auditory effect. So what is auditory effect? Auditory effect will be automatically, the receptor in the ear, cochlea will be continuously you are exposed to the particular noise, the receptor will be unreceptive. So they won't sense that one. So you cannot hear after some time, hearing deafness will be coming. Non-auditory effect is a tension among the people, like severe headache will be coming, and then the BP will be increasing. Suddenly people will die by the cardiac arrest. How do we plan? So we have to plan the city by noise free. So you should not give permission for the like giving nearby the railway station. You should not build the hospital near the residence area. You are not allow the industry near the residential area. Don't allow the recreation hall. So you have to put the very carefully, you have to plan the cities, and you have to control the vehicle and control the railways and do the legislation and give the punishment to the people, those who are using the horns unnecessarily. The measurement of his noise is called the decibels. Okay, so hope you understand about air, ventilation, light, and the noise. Next is I will tell you about what is called radiation. What is called radiation? Radiation in the sense, not only radioactive substances, naturally also you have a radiation like cosmic rays, and some terrorists will be putting some things, and the man-made radiation. So the X-rays and the radioactive fall. So this is called the radiation effect. What will happen to the radiation? So the natural radiation is a cosmic rays. So you should be avoid going to the continuously, especially if you are a light skinned person, no melanin is much present, you may develop some kind of cancer, skin problems. When the terrorist or somebody is putting a like bomb or something, you never go out. So until this radiation effect has been settled down. Okay, what is the effect? What will happen? How does it affect the health? That is called radiation effect. This is called somatic effect and genetic effect. Somatic in the sense it's an immediate and delayed effects. Right? Immediately if you see the radiation sickness, you will have a headache, you will have acute radiation syndrome, feel like vomiting, feel like you cannot breathe it. So many things immediately it will come. Delayed, it will affect your blood, leukemia, carcinogenic cells, fetal development, shortage of life. That's in a delayed life. Right? Genetical effect, you can very well remember about the mutations. The genes will be affected. Hiroshima, Nagasaki was affected by the radiation. Until today, they are affected by genetically. Still the children born with some defect. The gene is from generation it is passing. So this radiation was the biggest effect. From that, all the world told her not to use that effect. We are very much afraid now. Putin may use some radiation effect to the Ukraine. Current scenario, I am talking what is the radiation effect in this world. So radiation, if they ask about 5-mark question, you write what is man-made and other things, right? Then effect of radiation is a 2-mark. Always use this algorithmic method so you will remember it very easily. Clear? Then one more question I just gave it. What is 5F in prevention of diseases? Finger, flies, foot, feces and vomit. This is how these diseases are spread to the human. So you put a line, clean the fingers, control the flies, correct food you take, feces, avoid open field defecation, and the vomit, inanimate objects. That you have to make a hygienic way. So that you can, this 5Fs, if they ask for the 2-mark question, you write it. The next is the excreta disposal. What is called the excreta? Human excreta. In olden days, if you see, They were all going for the open field defecation, right? That's what I told you in the health education. To avoid open field defecation, Rockefeller Foundation built the toilet, but nobody was using the toilet. It caused the hookworm infestation, caused anemia. So the excreta disposal was playing important role in a community health. In the olden days, if you see, there was a service type latrine. In our grandfather's mother's house, if you go, there will be a one room and there will be a hole will be there. When you defecate there, one man every day he will be coming outside the roadside. He take all your feces and go. That was a service type of a latrine was present. After some time, they identify the non-service type latrine: borehole latrine, ductwell latrine, water seal latrine, septic tank, aqua private. Borehole latrine, they make a like a this much centimeter, like a 7 to 4 centimeter of the hole may make it in the land, and they defecate and put with the sand. Ductwell latrine. After some time, they came the water seal latrine. Water seal latrine, like a flush type. Now we are flushing, no? This is a very good type, and this one is a water is coming out. There is a no fly can touch the feces. So, and then this water seal latrine, the feces is going to the septic tank. Once the septic tank is full, it will be in a two ways. The water will be absorbed in one kind of a septic tank. Only the feces will be there. It takes time for the septic tank can be cleaned, and aqua previa. Then latrine for the camps. You are conducting the camps. Okay. When you are conducting the camps, how you will conduct the this one. So in that camp, there is a lot, many people will be gathering. So in that shallow trench latrine, you can conduct shallow. You dig the latrine and you can fill it. Deep trench latrine and bit latrine and the borehole latrine. So these kind of a latrine, like same borehole, dugwell, same thing. These latrine will be, you choose the area and in the ground and cover it with the mud. So these kind of a latrine will be this one, excreta disposal. Are you understanding? So this is about this one, excreta disposal. What is called waste disposal, they will be asking. Waste is different, excreta is different. The waste which is generated from the, waste is actually generated from the houses and the industries, the waste are generated from. And these waste are segregated from the regenerating waste or the other waste, like not generating waste. This one will be separated equally, and you will be doing. What will happen if that waste is not secreted or disposed in an improper ways? So that will bring some of the diseases. What will happen? There will be a rodents will be coming, and the bad smell will be coming, flies will be coming, and the water will be polluted. So these kind of the waste, how you will, this one, you will do the dumping, you will do the burial, or you will make the municipality member to take the disposal, dispose the waste, or you segregate the plastic waste and the another waste you can be bury it. Are you understanding? That is the problem of waste. The waste is different and excreta is different. So why I told that one. Then next thing, you will come for the sewage. What you called by sewage? That is called excreta. Sewage means the water, the waste water which is coming from the industry, is coming from the house, the bath you are taking, all this. 99.9% of the sewage water is a water. Only 1% is a solid waste. What is this solid waste? All the drainage waste fully water, but sometimes dead animals, some dead bodies, some people are died, their pillows and other things has been thrown in a drainage. That is nearly 1%, or dead animals will be there. Otherwise 99.9% of the water is a sewage water, is a form of a water. These water are, some countries are purified. This purified water are used for the drinking, but in our country we are not using for the drinking, and every government put the rules where there is a gathering of many people. For example, medical college, hospital, or the nursing college, all these should have this modern sewage treatment plant. They are not supposed to give this water directly into the drainage. They have to use this sewage treatment, and this treated water has to be put it there. So ultimately this waste water, where it is going through the drainage, Through this drainage, this sewage water is going to the river. Ultimately it will not, so if you are not treated properly, this solid and other waste components will kill the fish and other things. So that is the reason we have, for the environmental health, we are doing this one. So government is doing this one. It is called the modern sewage treatment plant. So every area of the population, they are having this modern sewage. How you are going for the water treatment plant? Same way, it has the two way of treatment is there: primary treatment and the secondary treatment. When the sewage water is coming from the various cities and towns, they have been collected by the big drainage, it is coming. Then there will be a screen means they will be like iron rod will be there. They keep this iron rod, or dead animals and other things will not coming. Then this screened water will be going to the grit chamber. This grit chamber will be like a big gigantic chamber will be this one. This one, all sediments will be also falling down, and then it is going to the primary sedimentation tank. So the primary sedimentation tank, it is going, the sludge will be forming. The sludge will be the minor sand will be there, and lived and died dead microorganisms, algae, everything will be present over here. So this sludge will be digested from the sludge. Because of the death of the microorganism and dead bodies, give some kind of a gas that is called the methane gas. Then it will go for the biological treatment. Then with the biological treatment, it will be the final sedimentation tank, it will be going, and it will be going for the effluent disposal. It will go, sludge will be forming. This will be from the sludge which is forming. This sludge, from that there will be a methane gas. This gas will be used to recycle it. I mean, this gas will be used for as a energy for run this plant. How to run this plant? For the electrical energy. The methane gas, they may take the electrical energy and they convert into some other energy. They use it for the running this plant by the government. So now the sludge drying plant. Once these all sludge coming, you have to take it. They put it in a drying. So the sludge will be drying. It will be in a dark in color. If you see this water will be clear, but not like a water purification where the pH and water color, turbidity all will be not this one. It is not a hard water. It is not a salt water. So this water can be bought by the many cinema making people, and many people will be using it for the artificial rain for the cinema industry. Some people will be using it for building the houses, because it is not a salt water. It is not a salt water. It is a sweet water, but it is a drainage water. It is been purified. Our country, it is okay. Some of the country, they purify up to the level for the recycle and drink this water. We did not do that. For that, we have to plant more trees and reserve the we are not supposed to misuse the sources of water. If like that, other country like, we have to drink the drainage water by purifying. Clear? So the environmental health, we have seen about air, water, ventilation, light and the radiation. Then the waste. What is the method of waste disposal? Problem will come for the, what is the problem will come for the waste disposal. Then another important thing is called the housing. What is the sources of housing? What is the goal of housing? What is the need for the housing? Everybody in our aim, I build a house. How many children? Yes, I have this many children. Or you have own house? Yes. It is our aim and dream to have our own house. How many people in India we have own house? How this house should be there? Does the house have any problem with the health? Yes. In this chapter, we are going to see about housing and health. We are going to see about how the house should be the minimum standards. How these houses have related with the health? Yes. The house is closely related with health because we are living in the house. If more people are living, more prone to get more diseases. During the COVID time, how every member got a disease because of the housing condition, correct? Okay, in this chapter we are going to see all these things in detail, little bit standards, and what all the diseases are coming in the improper housing, how we can prevent it, we can see. What is the social goal of housing? The goal of the housing is first shelter and the family life, and to access the community facility, and to show our economic stability and status, and the family participation. Any function for the family gatheration, we need a house. What is the simple criteria for the house? First, the house should be provide the physical protection and adequate facility for the cooking, washing, taking bath, and it should have a facility to prevent the spread of communicable disease. At least it should have a minimum one or two rooms. Anybody affected, that we can provide the room with a toilet and protect from the hazards. What is the hazard? Sudden some fire or sudden rain is coming or natural calamity is coming. The house should be in a protective form. In our country, it is okay. We are building the house with a brick and other thing. In Japan, if you build the house in a brick and other thing, it is a harmful housing. So anytime the earthquake may come, that you have to build the house with a wood. Okay, and also it should be free from the toxic and harmful materials. Correct? Yes. What is the standard of housing? First is the site. You have to site and you have to understand the setbacks if you have. And the floor. The floor should not be a mud floor. At least it should be have a cement floor. And the walls. Walls is not supposed to be a mud wall. Many microorganisms, arthropods may live in that and cause the diseases to human being. And the roof. The roof will be height. Until very high roofs will be bringing, and the roofs will be the very ceiling should be very good one. In my house, no, one very good house we bought it. Sometimes suddenly ceiling fall down. So what happens? The TV and other thing affected, not affected, but luckily no human being was there in that house. Particular time they went to the outside for the park. That is why they have saved. So the building should be in a good material and the roof should be very strong enough. Should have adequate rooms and the floor area at least 200 square feet per person, and the cubic space and the windows. As we talk about that, the windows should be there opposite direction so that the cross ventilation, and the lighting, the natural lighting should come inside. And the kitchen should be adequate where you can storage of the food, where you can keep it, good ventilated kitchen, and the privy and the water supply and the bathing and the washing area. So these are all the minimum standard for any housing you should have. Whether they can floor should be there, how the site, how the windows, how the rooms and floor area, and this one. Okay, if I am not following these standards and criterias, what will be problem will be coming for the improper housing? What is cause? The first important one it is causing is a respiratory infection. So it is the contagious and contaminated diseases will be spreading from one person to another person, especially tuberculosis, influenza, diphtheria, bronchitis, measles and whooping cough. All these are the communicable diseases will be spreading. Then important one is skin infections like scabies, ringworm infection, impetigo, leprosy. Then arthropod infections like houseflies, mosquitoes, rodents will be causing the many diseases like dengue fever, housefly will be diarrhea, cholera, rodent will be plague will be caused. Then most of the time accident may occur if they are not following the housing properly, right? Accidents suddenly will fall down, roof will be falling down, or any fire accident may come, all these things. So the morbidity and the mortality, illness will be increasing, death rate and psychological effect, stress, anxiety, suicide and depression. Sometimes they need privacy, right? Family members to live. Even one room everybody living, it is a frustration. So it should be adequate housing. If not there, they may go for this one. So here I have written about the person and the room. At least one room for 2 person, 2 rooms for 3 person, 3 room for 5 person, 4 room for 7 person, 5 and more room for the 10 persons. Right or not? No, everybody cannot afford to do building the house. There is one Yojana, Indira Awas Yojana. In 1985 to 86 they brought it. When the Rajiv Gandhi period, Rajiv Awas Yojana, they brought it. This Awas Yojana, they are supporting financial help from the central government. So nearly 2 lakhs to 3 lakhs they are giving to build the beautiful house. So this is called the standard of housing. So with that, we are finishing the environmental health. So housing and standards also may come for the 5 mark question. Thank you.